Good morning, students. Today I am going to present part 2 of the chapter 1, the Harappan Civilization. We will start from page number 7. For reference, please open your books. Bearded man. Another important source which we have found from Mohenjo-daro is the bearded man. This is a statue having a shawl worn on left shoulder and his eyes are half closed, and he is statue of a yogi. Now students, mark the important features of the bearded man in your book. Next is dancing girl. Another important source is the dancing girl. This dancing girl is made up of bronze and it is the most important sculpture which is found at Mohenjo-daro. As you can see in the picture, she is wearing lot of necklaces and her left arm is covered with bangles, and these bangles are made up of ivory and bones. Now mark the important lines in your book from dancing girl. Dockyard. Another important source is dockyard. Dockyard is the place where ships are maintained and repaired. So a rectangular dockyard has been discovered at Lothal in Gujarat. Mark it in the book, students. A very large brick wall was made around it in order to protect it against the floods, and Lothal was an important center of trading and manufacturing in Indus Valley civilization. Scripts. Another important source are the scripts, and these scripts are not being deciphered, means we can't read it. You can see the different types of symbols of scripts, but we can't read them. But it is in the form of pictographic steps. Today we have completed the sources. Students, try to find out the question answers from the sources. Next is town planning. Town planning, or you can say urban planning. Students, what does urban means? It means that the emergence of cities, and this city was very much planned. As you can see in the Chandigarh, the city is planned in a very beautiful way, and in the same way this Harappan civilization was based on a planning system which you can't imagine in the present world also. Now, features of the urban planning. Each city was divided into two parts, the raised area which was called the citadel and the lower town, as I have told you in the first class of this chapter, that the citadel and the lower town. The city was rectangular in shape and the streets ran parallel to each other, and there was no use to connect each other at the right angle, that is at the 90-degree. The streets was divided into a grid pattern system and they ran from north to south and from east to west. Drainage system. Another important feature of the city was their drainage system. Means all the wastewater of the houses was passed into the underlying streets drains, and the features are written in your book. Houses. There was very variation in the sizes of the houses, from single house to bigger houses. The entrance to the houses were from the narrow lanes which cut the streets at right angles. The kitchen was placed in a sheltered corner of the courtyard. The houses were made up of the bricks and wood. Each house had doors, windows and ventilators. Granaries. Granaries were used to store the grains, and granaries have been found at various sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal and Kalibangan. Means there are places where we can mostly see the granaries. At Harappa there were 2 rows of 6 granaries each. You can see the picture on your book. It is very clear in the book. After that, round shaped brick platforms were there on various places, and these platforms were used for threshing the grains, means to separate the grains from the crops. Wheat and barley was grown there, and there all the trading was done through boats. So, as you know, Harappa was situated on river Indus. So, for protecting the crops from the floods, it was built on a raised platform, and the granaries had ventilation to prevent grains from become mildew, means from fungus. This is enough for this chapter. So, we'll discuss the next point of this chapter in another video. Thank you, students.